Good evening, everyone. I'm WCIA 3 meteorologist Jacob Dickey here. It's 10:38. We're watching a new severe thunderstorm warning that has been issued. We're streaming live on digital, on Facebook, and more with this new warning that's been issued. It came out during the 10 o'clock news. We told you about it first there, but we are going to cover this, especially since this does include parts of Champaign-Urbana, and we'll go until 11 o'clock tonight. So we'll give you an update, a status update here, and what's going on and how things are occurring. We do have Kevin and Jack in the field. We'll hear from them shortly. They've been following this line of storms off to the east, and this warning now does go in effect. It includes much of Piatt and parts of Moultrie, Champaign, and Douglas counties. Almost can give the clear to Macon County here as that line of storms continues to push off to the east. Let's talk more about who's in and who's out. First off, this is going to include Champaign and Urbana. It will include Whiteheath on the northward extent, includes Seymour. Does not include Mahomet, but still I think a safe bet for Mahomet and Lake of the Woods. We can get some gusty winds in there. Down the line then Tolono and Philo, as well as Pasodum, Tuscola, Arcola for the eastward extent. This will include Interstate 57 from the Coles-Douglas County line all the way to the north into Champaign-Urbana. It also includes Interstate 72 between Monticello, Whiteheath, and Champaign-Urbana. BMET will be under this. We'll have Cadwell and parts of northern Moultrie County. Atwood, Hammond also included in this warning as it goes here until 11 o'clock. There was a 68-mile-an-hour wind gust report from the Decatur Airport. That's why this warning came out for straight-line winds as a main concern here. We'll show you some of our velocity products, and you'll see that there really is a bit of wind in the leading edge here. It's very evident where that leading edge of wind is now. It's already moved through Monticello. It's coming up to Whiteheath, the Illinois 10 exit. There's BMIP. It'll be US 36. You'll have Cerro Gordo. It looks like Cerro Gordo, Atwood, Hammond will be sitting in here. It'll be coming that way, maybe down towards Arthur eventually as that line moves off to the east. That leading edge is that red line right there. And you'll notice as I switch back to the radar, the red line there, the storms are still a little bit behind. This is good news. It's straight line winds only. I have no concern for a tornado at this point with this batch of storms for the next little bit, and we'll continue to watch it here. These storms starting to gust out, but this warning does include Champaign and Urbana. If you watched us in the newscast, this right here is a weather radio. It actually went off at the end of the weather forecast, but we were talking about NOAA weather radios. Of course, Chief Meteorologist Kevin Leidy and Jack Gerfen were off at High V in Springfield programming these. Ours actually went off during the newscast in the studio. You guys had this one programmed as well. You've been watching these storms for a little bit. Let's just get an update on where you are and what you've seen throughout the night and what's going on now where you are. Kevin and Jack.
Well, we were following those storms back, and, we got ahead of that line finally. We were all the way down there in Springfield. We were northwest of Springfield. We traveled back and went towards Mount Pulaski, then cut over towards Maroa, over to Cisco, and now we just continued across. And actually, believe it or not, our exact location is right on the Champaign-Piatt County line, which is at the WCIA-3 broadcast tower that we're at here right now. We're just waiting for this line to come through, so we're actually just that'd be west of Seymour is where we're located here. And Jack, that line of storms that's coming in, it doesn't look I was surprised at the 68-mile-an-hour gust.
Yeah, I was a little surprised at it too, especially with the past couple of radar runs now. I mean, it obviously produced in Decatur, but besides that, it's really looks like it's on radar weakening. But at times too, you can also have it when storms begin to kind of collapse and weaken a little bit on the radar. That's when they really do let out a lot of gusty winds. But what I can say though is that since we've been here at the radar or at the tower site, looks like the number of lightning strikes has kind of gone down. It's not flashing as much as it used to be, even just about 5 minutes ago. So we might be watching this thing kind of ramping down. It is still very humid though ahead of these storms. Kevin and I, when we were driving, we actually encountered a boundary. And it was, I forget, that was kind of by
east of Maroa.
Maroa, yeah. And all of a sudden, all the windows just went fogged up, and so we're definitely now in that humid air mass that hasn't been worked over yet by earlier storms where we're currently at. And as we kind of look at the radar, they're closing in on Champaign County here pretty quickly. But in terms of the strength of them, they might be coming down just a little bit here. We've got a ton of bugs in the in
We
the
did.
storm
We
tracker.
accidentally left the
door.
door open, and we have an infestation of bugs.
Of small bugs.
They're
We
coming.
were snacking on some puppy chow, which was delicious.
And we got at the Hy-Vee
at the
when
Hy-Vee.
we were programming weather radio.
Yep.
So it's been a weird day as we did severe weather coverage from the grocery store produce section out there. But
Yeah.
it was something to always remember. But we're going to watch this little line as it comes through. We're just kind of posted up here. It's probably another 10, 15 minutes from us here. Again, we're just going to be just east of Whiteheath, just west of Seymour, and we're actually at our tower site where we put on the NOAA Weather Radio transmitter antenna about a month or so ago,
Yep.
6 weeks ago, and so we decided we would come out here and watch the storm roll in. So we'll just continue to keep you up to date on what we see here, but so far, just a little bit of lightning, and we'll see if those winds kick up or not. So we'll send it back to you.
It's been a fun night for us here. Of course, you guys, we were doing tornado warning coverage for those storms in McLean and McLean and Iroquois County. You guys were in the Hy-Vee, the grocery store. And, of course, the weather radios have gone off. I will say real quick, one mention here. We'll keep the shot up with them on the storm tracker, watching those storms from near Seymour. The weather radio programming, if you're in McLean County or parts of DeWitt County, we put a story out yesterday about how you have to change your channel from channel 6 to channel 7 to get to the broadcast signal. And that was where those tornado warnings were. And so if you didn't get the alert in McLean County earlier for that tornado warning in your Downs, make sure you've got your weather radio program to channel 7. The weather radio tower in Bloomington is actually down because of an earlier lightning strike, but the new tower where they're at, the new transmitter site in Seymour, is able to cover those areas. That's an important note here. Still, this severe thunderstorm warning does continue. Again, like they've mentioned and like we've been saying, these storms are gusting out. They're collapsing. The outflow winds are ahead of the storm, and so the severe threat may not last all that much longer. We think what's going to happen is we may see an extension or a new warning somewhere, but I think we're transitioning more to a flooding event here into the region over the next several hours. Let's reset and take a look at the entire area here, and we'll continue to monitor. While there's this one warning, there's storms quite all over the place here, and that's why we're going to watch this and keep an update on it. First off, in southern Ford and Iroquois County, noisy showers and storms there, and that's really along US 136 from near Bellflower towards Rantoul, off towards Gifford into the north and west, and then even towards Hoopston. That line of storms is there. Not overly concerned with this right now for a severe threat. Really, it's the heavy rain is going to be the issue for this, and that's going to be a problem here with this line of storms. A lot of lightning, heavy rain. Not really concerned about a wind threat. We dropped down the line, and in fact, as we mentioned, there's outflow winds pushing out. That's what happened in Macon County. Really down the line, they just dropped the severe thunderstorm warning for Champaign, Piatt, Douglas, and Moultrie counties. However, I will say this, is that there still will be some gusty winds, a lot of lightning, and the heavy rain in particular. I don't have any areas of rotation at this right now. I think the tornado threat is done. The winds are pushing out. We'll watch and we'll keep you updated, of course, with the storm tracker in the field. Talk about the line, though, here that's more concerning from Springfield to Decatur, not for a severe threat. A lot of rain and heavy lightning in this area. This is going to see some potential flooding before all is said and done, especially with the orientation of storms and the motion here. They're moving east, and so that heavy rain training over the same areas, and then some more storms lining up light in nature from Springfield to the south here. That's right where the Amtrak tracks run here. You go from Springfield to Auburn, Girard, Carlinville, right down the Amtrak line before it pushes to the east here. It'll be approaching I-55 in a while here, but not really concerned about severe weather there in the region. So we really think that at this point the severe threat continues to diminish. The reason we had that warning pop earlier and why we're here now with some severe weather coverage on digital is just because of that 68-mile-an-hour wind gust that came out of the Decatur airport. Those storms looked pretty hefty at that point, but it's been obvious from looking at our velocity returns and our reflectivity that the winds are surging out ahead of it. In fact, I suspect in Champaign by about 11 or 11:15 we'll see the shelf cloud roll on through and the winds will pick up, though I don't anticipate them to be severe. They still may blow around some lawn furniture, so we'll be watching that and keeping an eye on it here into the region. So let's talk real quick, one more update, and then I'll show you some new advisories for the area, flood warnings, flash flood warnings, and whatnot. And we'll keep this going for a few more minutes here as we watch Kevin and Jack make their way back into Champaign. The storms are behind them, and if we can maybe, gentlemen, if we can put your camera behind you, And that might give us a good shot of some of those storms coming in from the backside, too. They're looking to the east, driving what appears to be maybe either Illinois 10. I think it's going to be Illinois 10 at this point. So they may not be able to hear me, but if they can, I'd love to look out the backside to see some of that lightning rolling on through. They're on Illinois 10, in fact, right now. Probably approaching Bondville here in the next couple of minutes, but they're winding down for the night. We're winding down for the night. The transition now is becoming more of a flooding concern with these storms training over the same areas. In fact, I'll show you some of these rain totals we've seen here. Getting that update now, and look at this. The flooding concern is very much there, especially where these storms have trained. You see some of those red colors? I mean, those are some pretty hefty rainfall totals here. Down in McLean County, we're looking, that's the road name. I need to get the precipitation amount. That's a 6-inch report coming in from McLean County in that there. So let me zoom in and query some of these numbers. We will likely see some heavy rainfall and continuing 6.1 inches near Downs. We talk about Moraine View State Park. That's a 4.7 estimated rain totals in the last 24 hours. Even north and east of Lincoln near Atlanta, that's a 5.4 inch number. There's a flash flood warning there, and for a good reason in that part of the world. Also here coming into western Illinois with more of those rain showers and storms coming. Southern Morgan County near Nortonville showing 3.8 inches. West of Springfield by Curran and Loami about 4 inches. And you see out by Pittsfield, that's a report coming in of 6.5 inches. So already some areas just tonight have put up those rainfall totals in impressive fashion. Because of that, there are some flash flood warnings, and we may get more of these before we get anything else here. You can see on the map flash flood warnings through tonight for McLean, DeWitt, northern Piatt, even northern Logan County, where there's heavy rainfall totals of 4 to 6 inches plus have occurred. Morgan County also under a flash flood warning. We'll watch and see if we don't get some extended. I'll be interested in the segment on 72 between Springfield and Decatur. That might be the next area of opportunity for some flash flooding to occur. So we'll be watching and keeping an eye on these storms here. Again, the general trend has been our friend here, and this downward decrease in severe weather. There's the severe thunderstorm watch for another 10 minutes. I don't really think I expect an extension of it. We'll watch and keep you updated. It goes till 11 o'clock tonight. And if that watch does expire, then all we'll have on the board are some flash flood watches for the same areas. This was extended, though, through Sunday morning. We've added another 24 hours to that, and we're saying at least Sunday morning because we think that the chance will be for some more flooding rains in spots here, not only with tonight's round, but perhaps tomorrow afternoon and tomorrow night, and again on Sunday and likely beyond. You can learn more about that on the WCIA 3 weather app. The forecast updates are there. But this very much tonight is looking much more like a flooding threat than anything across the region. Here's a look at satellite and radar of the last number of hours. You can see here, this is the leading edge of this batch. Let's go ahead and bring me full real quick. This leading edge here, look at all of the rain out to the west, and we bring the graphics full here with me on the preview, bring that to program. Look at all of that right there. More rain and storms training through North Missouri. They had a lot of flooding problems in Missouri tonight. As these storms move off to the east then, we'll continue to monitor them, keep an update on them, and watch them very closely here in the region. Flooding is expected to be a problem by tomorrow morning. I do think there will be some drier time here in the region. So we'll be watching things closely and keeping you updated on the rain and storms through the night. I really think at this point that one severe thunderstorm warning may have been a fluke in the apple patch. But really it now seems like it's going to be more of a rain and flooding threat here. So be weather aware if you're in areas for flash flooding. You've got to drive tonight. At nighttime especially, in some of these flash flood warnings and flash flood areas, the underpasses and bridges, low spots, even creeks and rivers, just be weather aware. And remember, turn around, don't drown. So we did have that earlier severe thunderstorm warning for Champaign, Piatt, Moultrie, and Douglas County. We put a notice on Facebook and Twitter about that. Those of you in the area, we know the weather radio worked. It worked for Champaign County. This is from Channel 7. If you program your radio, we will be doing a programming also. Just a heads up, we're planning in Mahomet and Gibson City at a later date to be announced. So we'll have more info on that. But a great opportunity is how these weather radios let you know when severe weather threatens here. And then again, for DeWitt, McLean County, if you live there by Leroy and you live over by Downs, your NOAA weather radio didn't go off if you're still on the Bloomington Tower. You got to jump over to Channel 7 because of the tower outage in Bloomington from lightning. That story we posted on our web and on social yesterday. It's still up there if you'd like to go look at it. So here's the plan tonight. Kevin and Jack are on their way in, and I think we're going to wind things down on digital and call it a night here. There may be a chance for a strong gust of wind somewhere. The warning has been canceled, but this line of storms will continue to move off to the east. I'll show you here real quick on Future Track what we're looking at. And you'll see here pretty close to the spot at 10 o'clock here. Really, it's more accurate when we look at 11. Pretty darn close. I'll give this some credit for being where it is. This line of heavy rain and thunderstorms, really the severe threat again. Not overly concerned, but as we move through the night here, notice by 12 a.m. and 1 a.m. along Interstate 72, we may see the storm stall out and train over the same areas and not make much southward progression. If that's the case, some spots by Tuscola, Paris, Mattoon, Charleston, Effingham may miss out on the rain entirely. That may even be as far north as southern Vermilion County. But then as we go late tonight into the morning hours, the chances is that we'll continue to see rounds of showers and storms build into the region. I'm optimistic by tomorrow we may see some dry time during the day. Just if you're aware, late morning into the early afternoon, but more rain and storms expected to pop here. And that will again have a low severe threat as well as a threat for flooding rains and flash flooding across parts of the areas that have already seen these heavy rain and storms. So tonight, again, the flash flood watch goes for most of the area. And it is a heavy rain expected. The storm's also probably going to be loud, some gusty winds and frequent lightning. But the rain at this point, flooding is going to be our biggest concern for the rest of the night. And that's what we'll continue to watch here and keep our eyes on. And we'll continue to monitor behind the scenes. It looks like, from everything I'm seeing, and we'll pull up the severe thunderstorm watch, they're going to let it expire. I haven't seen anything that indicates otherwise. And yeah, so we'll see these counties disappear. So we'll stay on for another 5 more minutes just to hedge our bets and make sure. And then we'll be done hopefully for the night here. But a number of you are on. If you do get the rain and you do get the storms, I think there'll be loud, heavy rain, torrential rain. Some of these rainfall rates, 2 to 3 inches an hour, especially where storms are training, and so we may get some more flash flood warnings into the region before all is said and done. The heaviest batch of rain and storms, though, now go from near Armstrong, Potomac, Rankin, Gifford, Rantoul, Fisher, down towards areas west of Mahomet, towards Seymour now getting some rain. I saw someone commented say the rain just hit Seymour, and wow, is it hitting. Rain showers and storms through Monticello, down towards Cerro Gordo and Decatur, and continuing to the west towards Springfield, and then down the Interstate 55 corridor. Though the severe threat does appear at this time to pretty much be over, unless we get a fluke warning for some gusty winds. But you'll notice that leading line there seems to be an indication that the winds are pushing well ahead of the storm, and that likely will keep more problems than not away from us into the region. So we do expect that severe thunderstorm watch to expire here in 5 minutes. That other update just came from the National Weather Service in Chicago. But yes, this is going to be a heavy rain event in central Illinois. Let me show you real quick the rainfall forecast totals before I can. I'm going to have to pull up a graphic real fast. And I need to switch this real quick and pop on over. The rainfall totals have already been impressive. We've had that alert for sump pumps and basement users here for a while. This may not be entirely accurate, but I think it's going to give us a good idea of what we can expect the rest of the night with the chance for flash flooding. This is the future track rainfall from this point on. This model updates every hour. And so we get a new look at it. You'll notice here, see those areas that it continues to sit over? I think what will more than likely happen is we're seeing this already shift a little to the south. So I can actually make that adjustment to look a little more accurate. The storms are more south of that than anything, but you get the idea that a corridor of some heavy rain expected into the region. So we'll drop that to the south here. You know, we may see some spots tonight with 4, 5, 6 inches additional of rainfall. Some spots may get 2, 3 inches. And look how sharp the cutoff is then to the south and east here. So a sharp cutoff between the very heavy rain with these storms we're seeing and no rain. There may be some light rainfall totals down here. I'll just mention that. But I really think at this point the alerts for flooding is going to be the biggest story for us as we move on forth here. Again, we'll show you those alerts. The flash flood watch continues through at least Sunday morning. More rain showers and storms with heavy tropical downpours expected tomorrow afternoon into tomorrow night, scattered to numerous in nature. That watch extended into Sunday morning, and it may be extended beyond it. We're using the wording through at least Sunday morning because of the concerns for that. And then the flash flood warnings. We'll watch. I kind of think the way things look, Macon County, Piatt County, maybe parts of Champaign County will get an extension of this flash flood warning. Those red polygons that are there, of course, if you have the TV on tonight, you'll see those on the bottom of your screen crawling there and keeping it updated. But the storms have torrential rainfall as they roll on through. The time is 10:58. Kevin and Jack are almost back to the station, and we're going to wind this down in just a couple of minutes, take a break and a breather. We did want to let you know also, if you're looking for some photos of the tornadoes that happened earlier, we think there were at least 3 tornadoes down. One near Mahomet, one crossed I-57 near Danforth, another likely touchdown northeast of Argenta. The National Weather Service is going to analyze things and keep an update on it. And I'll show you those storm reports here in a little bit as they continue to update them. But the tornado threat is over for the night. The only damage we have from those, some trees damaged near Danforth on a farm, but the damage was light in nature. Again, from this point on, it seems like it's a flooding issue for us here in central Illinois with numerous flash flood warnings in effect. I'll show you here, we just got the sound you heard is the sound of storm reports, and it should update. You can see here we go. This is over the last 24 hours. Last night and yesterday evening, actually, there was a tornado near Verdon, so that's yesterday. This is today, at least 1, 2, 3. There may be a 4th one here, and there may be a 5th one that comes in somewhere in northwestern Champaign County. We'll watch it and keep you updated, but a number of these tornadoes came out through, and that's about it. We didn't really have much in the way of wind damage. We did have some power outages that were reported across the region, and a quick check of those numbers here. McLean County has had some outages in the Bloomington area, about 900 customers out there. Logan County has about 139 customers out, 168 in Sangamon County. Macon County has a handful, and we'll probably see a handful here and there, but overall outages statewide only at 2,100. So even though we had photos just like this one, this is one of the first photos we got, north and east of Mahomet, that's clearly a touchdown. The tornado down about 5:30. That came in from Nicole. She sent that to us. If you have photos or reports and even rainfall reports, we'll be soliciting those in the morning because of the heavy rain that's coming tonight. All right, it is 11 o'clock, and here's the good news. The severe thunderstorm watch is no more. We think the severe threat from this point on, very, very low, except for the flooding threat here. Still a number of flash flood warnings. We'll let you know with the WCIA 3 weather app if your area is under a flash flood warning. If you have to travel tonight and you're in areas that are seeing heavy rain, take it slow. Remember, turn around, don't drown. Final check at radar here before we wrap our digital coverage up for the night. Still heavy rain and storms continue in areas north of Champaign, and I think on the US 136 corridor that might be an opportunity for a new flash flood warning as if trends continue. Other rounds of storms continuing in Macon and Sangamon County. That may be a US 36 corridor to the east towards Saragordo and Tuscola for more flash flooding in those regions, but some stratiform rain does continue behind it. And of course, as we watch off to the west, more of this heavy rain coming in our general direction, so we'll have to watch and see how things shake out. Some spots will be drenched tonight. There may be some areas, particularly closer to I-70, that miss out on rain. We'll watch and see how it plays out tonight, but I anticipate dealing with these rounds of showers and storms to be an issue for us moving on through. Some final housekeeping notes. The next update hopefully won't be until 8 a.m. on the morning show. Saturday morning, you can join Jamie Mays and myself there. If we need to, we'll post on digital and social media platforms about weather updates. You get those weather updates automatically on the WCIA 3 weather app. Final note is, again, tonight, the heavy rain will be a concern. There's a lot of lightning. There are no tornadoes at this point. I really don't even think the wind is going to be a big threat. I think it's transitioning to rain and flash flooding for the rest of the night. I'm WCIA 3 meteorologist Jacob Dickey. Thank you for trusting us with your severe weather coverage. Had quite a bit of it tonight on air. We'll have updates on the morning show on the storm reports and the damage in the area. And we'll keep you updated as well if there's any new flash flood warnings issued through the night. Count on, though, if you get some rain and storms, you very well could get a lot of it. We'll be done for the night here. Thanks for joining us on digital. Have a great rest of your evening. I'll see you back here at 8 a.m. on the morning show on CBS. Take care. Have a great and safe rest of your night.